Hi everybody! This is our Tuesday craft video. So this is for February 9th. We only have 2 of these a month, the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. And this week we are going to make little owl lovebirds. So here's the first one so you can see how it looks, and then I will make the partner here with another little tiny pine cone. So in your kit you will have 2 pine cones, and you'll have some felt and some pipe cleaners that you can make beak and feet out of. And then cotton balls is what makes these little snowy owls snowy, and then of course wiggly eyes. And you will need some glue and some patience. You could use hot glue or tacky glue, and that will probably stick a little better maybe than school glue. I just happen to have school glue, and that's what I've been using. It does work, you just need some patience. And probably the hardest part is actually gluing the little owl's feet on. So that's the part that requires the most time to dry. So I'm going to show you how I made this little owl and make the owl's little friend here, and then you can pick up these kits starting on Tuesday, February 9th at 10 o'clock when we open, and then you can take a kit home and make your own little pair of owl lovebirds, little snowy owls. And I can't wait to show you how this little craft works, and I would love to see some pictures of your finished owls when you are all done with the kit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with our little owl is we're going to pull apart the cotton ball. Some of them are woven pretty tightly, so you'll want to pull pretty hard on them. This one is a little bit fluffier, and you're just going to kind of fill the pine cone. If you feel the need to glue it, you can, but really the cotton is going to stick to the pine cone, and it's really, gluing is not necessary. So we're going to kind of fill this in, and then if you're doing this with some kiddos, make sure that they are careful with the pine cone, because some of these pine cones are very, very dry, which is great for crafts, but it also makes them a little more fragile. It's easy to break the little doobies off. I don't know what those are actually called, so they're doobies for today. This pine cone is actually really small, so I'm not even going to use the whole cotton ball here. So I've got my little owl filled with snowy, downy feathers. It's actually a snowy owl. And there's lots of fun facts about snowy owls that you could look up with your kiddos while you're doing this craft, or for yourself if you like to just know random facts. And we even have some books upstairs about owls. There's one called Owl Babies that's super, super sweet. And there will be some owl stories on Stories in the Clouds. So make sure to call 641-766-4600 and listen to some stories on your phone through Stories in the Cloud. Okay, so I think I've got this about as full as I can get this particular pine cone. Remember, every pine cone is different, just like every snowflake is different, so you're never going to have 2 that are identical. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of my pieces, because I want to be able to hold my pine cone while I am gluing things. So I'm going to make my foot, I'm going to make a little 3-pronged foot here by folding it into a V, folding that one down, and then here, and then I just twist it a little bit. That way it's not quite perfect, because they're all going to be a little different, right? We need it to be more realistic, I suppose, or more cartoony. I don't know, whichever you like better. So you just kind of twist that around, and that's feeling a little long to me there, so I'm going to trim that off. And so I have 2 little feet that my pinecone owl is going to sit on, and then I'm just going to use a little tiny piece of pipe cleaner to make the beak, and so then this will stick in there. And then on the sides of your pinecone owl, you'll see there's the two wings, obviously, and then eyes. So you'll have 4 different colors of felt in your kit so that you can make your owls have matching wings, or maybe they have all different things. It's totally up to you. It is your craft. So I'm actually going to cut out, I'm not going to draw them because I really kind of want them to be slightly different from each other. I don't want them to be exactly the same. So I'm going to cut my wings, the big part of the wings here. And I might have even made these too big for this owl, so I'm going to trim these a little. Check them up against your pine cone so that you can see if it's the right size for your pine cone. So I made mine a little too big, so there we go, all trimmed. Then I'm going to make 2 little shapes, same basic shape, just smaller, to go in the middle of the wing. Gives the illusion of feathers, right? We're making owls. So if you're working with kiddos, if you are using kid scissors, they probably will not cut the felt very well. So you could actually have your kiddo use, well, I would use a Crayola marker or something like that, but you can actually have them draw the shape they want, and then you can cut it out. That way they're not frustrated, because kid scissors are not going to cut flannel very well. So now I'm going to check my size here and see how that is. So see, they're not quite the same. They're going to be full of character. I'm actually going to trim that little hump off there. And I'm going to glue the light pink onto the dark pink. It's helpful if your glue is open when you do that. So here we go, there's 1 and 2. Okay, so there's the wings. So I have wings, I have feet, I have a beak, I have eyes sitting here, they're just flipped over. And then I think for this owl, I'm going to use the light pink for his eyes. And what you're basically doing is making a mask shape, like a raccoon mask, not a COVID-19 mask. And I just wanted you to see that. I typically just cut things out of felt, but if you don't want to just cut things, then by all means draw it on the felt. And then you can always use the opposite side as your right side, so you don't have black outlines on your craft. So now I have my little eyes, and I think because it'll glue better, I'm just going to leave my little owl facing this direction. So see, this pine cone kind of leans backwards. So rather than try to fight with nature, I'm just going to leave it that way. So because it's angling that direction, I'm going to go ahead and glue the eyes on. So here's the trick. You've got all these gaps in the pine cone, so you're going to have to sort of fill it with glue, and it may even end up needing more than 1 layer of glue depending on your pine cone. So I'm going to stick that in there, and I'm going to wait and make sure it sticks before I put the eyes on. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the wings. I'm going to kind of make sure that there's glue on both pine cone and cotton ball. I'm going to squish those wings in there. Same thing. Oops. See, it kind of slides around. So what I figured out with the first little owl is if I kind of hold him while I'm gluing, it helps it set a little better on it'll lose stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to hold the wings. So I don't know how well you can see them, but we've got wings on either side. Got his little eye spot. And I'm going to stick his beak, put glue here for his beak, and glue down for the eyes. Oops, I'm sorry, I got that out of the screen. So now I'm going to stick the pokey end of the pipe cleaner in to the glue, and then I'm going to put the eyeballs on. Now I know that lots of crafty people, moms, we all tend to be great multitaskers. But when it comes to making crafts, sometimes it's helpful to be able to use just one hand at a time, or one hand while the other hand's doing something else. So I can feel my wing moving over here. Okay. So now I don't know exactly where those feet are gonna glue on, so I'm just gonna kind of fill this whole thing with glue. So might be a good idea to have a placemat, or I even have some foil here left over from the snowflake craft. So I'm going to put my owl feet on the foil because the glue won't stick to the foil so much. Then I'm going to just set him on the feet. And that's really all there is to it. He's super cute, super easy, and then you'll have, whoopsies, you'll have a pair of owls that you can set out for Valentine's Day. And every owl is going to be different, so don't try to make yours look just like mine or just like a picture you might find on Pinterest. Just create the owls the best way you can, and then come back tomorrow when we will be doing pine cone bird feeders. It's super fun, super easy, and the birds will love them, especially because the weather's going to be super cold for a while. And I've used the word super way too many times. So I hope you have a great day and enjoy making these cute little owls.